Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. And of course, you got Little Lemonhead there too. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm giving Dave the night off. I thought I would just do a quick reading on James Comey. So, James Comey got indicted again for having the nerve to show a picture on his Instagram of seashells that had the numbers 86 and 47 on them. I just finally saw a picture of it. It's like the most innocuous photo ever. Um, and of course, Department of Justice is like, he's trying to incite a riot and get people to kill the president. Okay, I suppose you could look at it that way. To me, when you 86 something, that means you get rid of it. You throw it away. You dispose of it, right? It doesn't mean you have to kill the thing. You're done with it. Just 86 it. Get rid of it. And when Comey posted it, that's kind of what he thought he was posting. He he started getting some messaging that people were taking that as a call to action to assassinate or kill the president. And once he realized that some people were misinterpreting or interpreting that message that way, he took it down. But now, Todd Blanche, proving that he is the lapdog of Dear Fearless Leader, has, pursued grand jury indictment of James Comey over this picture. What's also interesting to me is kind of, this is a whole First Amendment case here. Also, it's, the Justice Department would have to prove that Comey kind of recklessly, he was reckless in posting this, that he should have known that this would have caused people to gather up arms and march to the White House and kill the president. I think this falls just a teeny tiny bit short of that. And the other thing I was reading was, over the passage of time, as more and more time passes and more nothing happens, that the ability to prove that this message was inflammatory and was meant as a call to arms will become harder and harder to prove because nothing ultimately resulted from it. What I find interesting is on the other side of the political spectrum, you've got Trump like actively holding speeches like on the ellipse, how you have to fight for your country, and if you don't fight, you won't have a country to fight for, fight, fight, fight. And, basically really stirring up the crowd, knowing that he could get them riled up, and then the whole January 6th happened, right? To me, that's a much clearer case of reckless disregard for your messaging and what it could mean. So if anyone should be indicted, it's our current president. In other news, after this third assassination attempt at Trump, I believe Caroline Levitt came on and said that she was pointing at the left, saying that the Democrats need to tone down their rhetoric because it could get someone killed. And it's like, wait a minute, Caroline. I think you need to worry about your side of the house first. You got a president that's, posting these messages on True Social at 2 a.m. that are just inflammatory as hell. Let's worry about your boss first before you start telling the Democrats to tone their side down. It's so ridiculous. They're so blind to their own actions and so willing to blame the Democrats for all of the faults in the world when, Trump and MAGA started all of this. They're still, they're conducting master's classes coursework on this. The Democrats, man, they're not nearly as bad. Yeah, they probably do need to tone it down a little bit. I'm not disagreeing with that. But you know what? Lead by example, Toots. Tell your boss to shut the F up and act like a damn adult. He's 79 years old and he conducts himself like an unhappy 8-year-old, who just lost Monopoly and is tossing the pieces all over the board, all over the place because things didn't go his way. Um, so you got that. So I want to take a look at James Comey. Oh, and I posted up on the Twin Tarot community page if you get a chance to look at it. If you don't, you can just type it after this. But I put a link to Triumph, the comic insult dog. He was on the red carpet for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he was letting the insults fly. He was absolutely brilliant. If you don't if you can't find our community page, just go to YouTube, type Triumph, the insult comedy dog, and it'll be one of the first videos that pulls up. He's on the red carpet, and boy, was he putting some zingers on there. My favorite was he made a joke about if the Mentalist asks Trump to pick a number, it'll probably be under 18, right? And he was asking that of Peter Ducey. There was another one where he took a jab at Hegseth's drinking that had Laura cracking up on the couch when she was watching it with me. Anyway, so let's take a look at James Comey, at the Department of Justice case against James Comey. It's one of those things that even the Republicans in the Senate are like, man, I hope there's more to it than what this picture of seashells, because this is not rising to the standard. And it's just going to be another embarrassing defeat for Trump in his retribution campaign against his political enemies. So for entertainment purposes only, what do we need to know about this case against James Comey? Whoops, deck's upside down. Okay, 7 of Wands. So this is Todd Blanche fighting for his job. Or you could look at it simply as James Comey's got the high ground, and he's able to successfully fend off the actions that are being posed against him. The challenge here is the hangman, that in this case, the charges, you really have to look at this through a really weird lens to say that this rises to a crime that should be a federal crime against the president. It's saying that it's going to be that he's trying to advocate for the assassination of the president. He never said that. He never followed up anything with it, and nothing ever came from it. But here you go. You've got Todd Blanche. He's got to please the boss, so he's got to put on the show. Energy underneath it is the 4 of Wands. To me, this is just... My first thought was it's the Senate coming together and saying, yeah, you know what, there's no one going behind bars here. But this is, I take that back. To me, this is just Todd Blanche and the people that like to kiss Donald Trump's butt. Just look at us. We're Kash Patel, same thing. Look at all the things, all the actions we're taking, celebrating you. That's what, they're just doing it to keep their jobs. They don't believe in it. In the past, you had the 8 of Wands. This is all the actions being taken, all the messaging going out there, attacking Comey. His previous indictment got dismissed. So we got to do it again. The current situation is the Hierophant. So it's just people in the government trying to please the emperor, trying to keep their jobs. That's all this is. Because Trump's legacy is what's most important to them. He's giving them these jobs, he's providing them with wealth, and they, in turn, need to show loyalty and try and do his work and celebrate. Look at all the actions we're taking for you. The lesson to be learned is the emperor wants what he wants. And the outcome is the King of Pentacles. That he is going to continue doing these sorts of things. He's the emperor isn't going to learn. The emperor just wants what he wants. He wants his legacy preserved, and he'll do whatever. He'll provide whatever resources he needs to provide to make it happen. No surprise, no surprise there. I actually had no idea exactly where that reading was going to go, but yeah, that's about where I thought it should go. They're doing it to protect their jobs. Trump's holding it over them, because if you don't do it, I'm going to fire you, right? I mean, that's what happens to people who don't do what Trump wants. If it doesn't matter that what he wants might not be achievable. If you don't do it, it's not his bad plan. It's your poor execution. Okay, let's just how quickly is this going to get dismissed? It's not even a question, will it get dismissed? How quickly is it going to get dismissed? Knight of Cups, this is an offer will be made. King of Pentacles. To me, that's the Trump card. Let's keep going. Let's see. Six of Swords, moving on from this. Not happy with the options that are being offered, and the Page of Wands, changing the messaging. Okay. So how long will it be before it gets dismissed? So the Knight of Cups, I don't know, maybe they'll offer him a plea deal that Trump will find acceptable, but just so they can move on to the next thing that they want, the next person they want to go after, make him go away, and not being happy with the options on offer. You know what my gut feeling is with this is that this is going to go really, really bad for the Justice Department. And they're going to have to go back to Trump with some sort of peace offering, because Trump's not going to be happy that they couldn't make him go away, and that how could this guy be let go? The Justice Department failed yet again. And at the end of the day, they need to change their messaging. Or new messaging needs to come out. A new action will need to come out and be taken. So to me, it's not answering so much how quickly it'll be dismissed. It's what's going to happen after it gets dismissed, or once they realize that it's going to get dismissed. They're going to have to come up with some sort of peace offering to Trump to keep him from going ballistic and keep the money flowing in. It's basically, they're going to have to tell him that it's not going to happen and that there's no good options for you here. It's probably best just to move on. And I don't know how maybe that'll play with Trump just simply because it's enough to get this successful indictment and take him to trial. And then he'll just go on Truth Social and say how corrupt the justice system is and how it needs to be replaced because he's clearly a criminal. It's just so funny how, it's the pot calling the kettle black. The reason why James Comey is the FBI director is because Trump wanted him to pledge his loyalty to Trump and not the Constitution, and Comey wouldn't do it. So Trump has an axe to grind, as he does with most people that, quote unquote, don't show him sufficient loyalty. What times we live in, right? Hold on for just a minute here. I'm going to pause this. Okay, and I'm back. When I was looking for a little more background on it, one of the things that the Democrats have been pushing back on this whole James Comey 8647 thing is Republicans during the Joe Biden administration posted all sorts of 8646 stuff. Matter of fact, they had T-shirts and they fundraised on it, and no, there were no indictments at that point against the Republicans. Matter of fact, they were even sharing how Matt Gaetz shared an article about Mitch McConnell stepping down as the party leader with the caption, "We've now 86'd McCarthy, McDaniel, and McConnell better days ahead for the Republican Party. So it's going to be really, really hard for the Department of Justice to make any headway in this. This is all performative. This is just to please dear leader, to make him happy, so they can continue with their jobs, and basically holding on to power. Um, the double standard is really stunning to me. You know, it's okay if Republicans use inflammatory language. It's okay if Republicans go on the attack. But if the Democrats do it, oh, clutch my pearls. This can't happen. They're so blind. And I guess ultimately, the double standard is what's being shown to us. With Joe Biden, for example, the press was all over Joe Biden's, how sharp his mental health was, and his memory's going, and the man's old, and he's forgetful, and he's toddling off and doddering. And yet you see Trump, and they don't say boo to it. It's all crickets from the press regarding Trump's mental incapacities. And I guess what I want to we'll just wrap this up is, what will we learn from this? I mean, it's ultimately, we all make mistakes. We all use bad judgment from time to time. We're humans. We make mistakes, and we hopefully learn from them. What will we learn from this? What will come from this? What do we need to know? Seven of Swords, making off with something, with your thoughts. We need to put an end to people trying to take your freedoms away from you. That we need to strike a balance and not lean too far one way or the other. This is really about extremism. Moving away from the extremism that's taking things away from you, and trying to strike a balance again and regain your emotional maturity, and take those and basically communicate that and take actions to move us away from this, put an end to this, and seek balance in emotional maturity again. It seems like we're so far away from that, doesn't it? But that's ultimately what we need to learn and take away from it. Some of us, I think, will just simply take longer than others. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. I hope you're all having a great day. And just a quick card. Aww. Lover's card. Love ya. Mwah. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and we'll catch you real soon. Take care, folks. Bye.